This morning, Kate.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. And Alison Montford, grandmother, former nurse. Alison, morning.
Morning, Stephen.
Morning. Kate, it was, that was kind of a thing that it was known for. It was known for its basics, underwear kind of being a big part of it. Let's look at that specifically. How have we changed the way that we buy in that area?
Well, the main change, as we all know, has been the widening of the marketplace. And that's not just online, but it is fair to say that over 20% of all of our shopping on these items is now online. And that's allowed the marketplace to see new competition come in, people setting up businesses more freely and people being able to search for different options. And that's grown in both the value sector, the more discount side of things, and also the premium sector. But Marks and Spencer's have also not moved enough with the times, and they've tried to be all things to all people, and they've lost their speciality as the place that everyone would go reliably year on year to go and top up their underwear, top up their pyjamas, and they've just not connected with enough consumers. They've really, really been hit hard with this change in marketplace.
And is that because they took their eye off the ball, or was it always going to be this way? Is the retail environment just changing so fast, Kate, that it was inevitable something this big and this dominant was going to decline?
That's really perceptive of you, because it really is the same thing. By taking your eye off the ball, not only are you taking for granted the position that you're in and your dominance and your position in the marketplace, and perhaps almost a very bullish approach that things would never change, that there might be competition that comes and goes, but it would never be big enough to take them on. But also, there was such a loud warning bell that came with online shopping and the changing way that people wanted to shop, that perhaps they weren't reflective of that quickly enough. I can remember many years ago just how many challenges Marks and Spencer's faced when they first tried to get online. It felt like they were struggling to catch up and keep up. They invested a lot in websites, and one of the phrases that stuck with me for a long time from one of their team was that they'd spent £1 million on a website that wasn't yet launched yet. And that, for me, just felt, look, this is a lot of money that you're spending a lot of time off for something that moves and changes every day. And it didn't feel that understanding of just how quickly this changing marketplace was, and almost how much time you have to spend on an almost hourly basis in investing in understanding what consumers want. But I will say this, the consumer is definitely in charge of this process now. They're leading the way. They're telling retailers what they want, how they want it, the price they want to pay. And Marks and Spencer simply need to start using two ears, one mouth, and using that to engage far more with what the customers are telling them they need to do to change.
And why underwear was so important for them, Kate, was because that was what attracted people. Went into the store to choose, to buy, and then when they're in there, they'll make further shops. They'll go down to the food department, they'll go upstairs and have a look at homeware or whatever. It was a kind of banker that got people into the stores.
There's a few things that happens with lingerie. Number one, once you have a fit, particularly for women and their bras, they like to then buy the same item because it's something where you have to go into store, get a fit, and then you know your size in that particular brand or range. So you've got good loyalty from that. Also, it's an item that can be a bit more of a regular purchase than other fashion items, particularly tights and socks and things like that. And you're quite right, that would then get people to dwell and spend more time maybe looking at the fashion and going and picking up the food. So we call it a footfall driver, but it's also a loyalty driver. People tended to buy the same things. A lot of comments at the time when there were big changes in M&S and when people started to move away also came through the fact that they seemed to change a lot of suppliers. The quality changed and people didn't like that. They were being charged the same for what they felt wasn't as good a product.